In football, size does often matter. Even today, a decade on from Barcelona becoming perhaps the finest footballing side we've ever seen, with an average height of about 5'0", you still hear of academies releasing players for being, quote, too short. On the other hand, there are stereotypes attached to being taller players as well, with the old adage, he's got good feet for a big lad, being the bane of any Peter Crouch or Jan Koller-like centre-forward's life. Typically, height distribution in football is dependent on position. Goalkeepers are the tallest players on the pitch on average, followed by centre-backs and target men. Meanwhile, wide players and number 10s are often more diminutive, with their low centre of gravity thought to be of benefit to their playing style. Now, we are using feet and inches in this video because I'm from the UK. The majority of our viewers are from either the UK or the US, and the UK and the US tend to use feet and inches. I appreciate that it could be confusing for our non-US and UK viewers though, but hopefully the players themselves will make it clear how tall each height is. As a point of reference early on though, our starting height of 5 feet 1 inch is equivalent to just under 155 centimeters. Our maximum height of 6 foot 11 inches is just under 211 centimeters, and around the middle, 6 foot is a little under 183 centimeters. In the cases of players who are say 5 foot 4.5 inches, we will always round up rather than down. Here are our views on the best current footballer at every height. 5 foot 1. ELTON. There aren't many footballers who are just 5 feet and 1 inches tall, which is the same height as renowned meat dress wearing pop star Lady Gaga. One player who is though, standing at 154 centimeters tall, is Brazilian attacking midfielder Elton Jose Javier Gomes, better known simply as Elton. A really quick and skillful flair player, Elton has previously turned out for the likes of Corinthians and Steaua Bucharest, but now plays for Al Qadsiya in the Saudi Professional League. 5 foot 2. Madsen. It's another Brazilian attacking midfielder at 5 feet and 2 inches, and former Vasco star Madsen actually has a lot in common with Elton. He too is a quick and tricky little winger or attacking midfielder from Brazil who has spent time in the Middle East. Following 6 years in Qatar, Madsen returned to Brazil to join Fortaleza in December 2018. 5 foot 3. Sebastian Giovinco. Quite likely the first player in this list a lot of you will have heard of, Sebastian Giovinco is renowned for his tiny stature, even being nicknamed the Atomic Ant in Italy. Capped 23 times by his country, the former Juventus man plays predominantly as a striker these days. Quick, explosive, and always a goal threat from set pieces, Giovinco also plays in the Middle East now, but previously spent 3 years with Toronto as one of the best players in the MLS. 5 foot 4. Lorenzo Insigne. Another tiny Italian international, and the first player in this list with no links to the Arab Gulf states, as far as we know at least, is Napoli star Lorenzo Insigne. A one-club man, barring a few loan moves, Insigne has played over 300 games and has scored more than 75 goals for his boyhood club. He was run very close by fellow wideman Ryan Fraser here, whilst La Liga star Pablo Piatti also deserves an honourable mention. 5 foot 5. Marco Verratti. The third consecutive Italian to feature, Italians aren't particularly short, in case you were wondering. They just seem to have a smattering of diminutive but gifted footballers. Marco Verratti is a man who falls firmly into that category as one of the most naturally gifted midfielders in the world. Honourable mentions at 5 feet and 5 inches will go to the likes of Everton star Bernard and Bolivia's best player, Alejandro Chumacero. 5 foot 6. N'Golo Kante. Staying in the hard midfield, N'Golo Kante has had an extraordinary half-decade within the world of football. From second-tier football in France to 2 Premier League titles, a World Cup, and a couple of Ballon d'Or nominations. Perhaps the most energetic and industrious footballer in the world, it's often said that Kante does the work of 2 men in midfield, and certainly the cheery little Frenchman looks as though he'd be a joy to play alongside. 5 foot 7. Lionel Messi. A few fantastic footballers, such as David Silva and Raheem Sterling, stand at 5 foot 7, but unfortunately, they're up against the finest footballer to have ever lived. Lionel Messi's height almost prevented him from becoming a footballer, with Barcelona's willingness to pay for his growth hormone injections ultimately bringing the youngster to La Masia. Now 5 foot 7 inches tall, what a masterstroke that has proved, with Messi having scored 603 goals in 687 games for the club, and the numbers only tell half of the full story. 5 foot 8. Eden Hazard. Seeing off stiff competition from Sergio Aguero, and particularly this season, the incredible Bernardo Silva, we have to go with Eden Hazard at 5 foot 8. The Real Madrid bound superstar has given 7 years of outstanding service to Chelsea, and he will go down as one of the Blues' finest ever players. Hazard will join Real Madrid for an initial £89 million and a potential £149 million this summer. 5 foot 9. Neymar. I hate to do this because lots of Liverpool fans watch our videos and will be upset that I've picked Neymar over Mohamed Salah and indeed Sadio Mane. Meanwhile, virtually no PSG fans watch our videos to balance the tone in the comments. I have to call it as I see it though, and despite the mudslinging from people who've watched him about 4 times since he left Barcelona, Neymar is still a truly phenomenal footballer. Quick, unbelievably good on the ball, and remarkably productive in terms of both goals and assists, Neymar beats Antoine Griezmann and the aforementioned Liverpool duo to take the 5 foot 9 inch title. 5 foot 10. Kylian Mbappe. We stay in Paris as we go up by an inch, as Kylian Mbappe sees off Juventus star Paulo Dybala as our choice at 5 foot 10. His brilliance has become a little monotonous, even at the age of 20, but it should be noted that Mbappe scored a quite incredible 39 goals in 43 games last season. Frighteningly quick and difficult to dispossess, it's Mbappe's directness that sends shivers down defenders' spines, and to make the top 10 of Ballon d'Or voting twice before turning 20 is no mean feat. 5 foot 11. Kevin De Bruyne. It's no secret that I'm quite a big fan of Kevin De Bruyne's. In fact, I think he's the best midfielder in the world, so there were few doubts about his inclusion at 5 foot 11. I must admit that De Bruyne looks a little taller in games, but that's probably to do with his presence on a football pitch. A remarkably well-rounded midfield technician, De Bruyne's touch, control, passing and understanding of the game make him the best player in the Premier League at full fitness. 6 foot. Luis Suarez. This was probably the toughest decision in this list between Real captain Sergio Ramos and Barcelona star Luis Suarez. Both have had extraordinary careers, both are among the best players in the world in their respective positions, and both are now in their early to mid 30s, and both are 6 foot tall. I've gone for Suarez because he's a better footballer, but I wouldn't argue for too long with anyone who'd go for Ramos. 6 foot 1. Robert Lewandowski. It's a battle between two Bundesliga Golden Boot winners at 6 foot 1, namely Robert Lewandowski and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Two very different footballers, but both very prolific over a number of years. Lewandowski more so though, and the Polish striker is our choice at 6 foot 1. The graceful and clinical frontman has bagged 191 goals in 242 games at Bayern Munich, including 40 in 47 last season. 6 foot 2. Cristiano Ronaldo. The height difference between Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, the two greatest players of their generation, shows that there is no one body shape or size that is tailored to being better at football. Cristiano Ronaldo has used his height at 6 foot 2 to his advantage on many occasions, becoming one of the most prolific scorers of headed goals in the entire history of the sport. Talented goalkeepers Edison and Jan Oblak are both 6 foot 2 as well, as is Tottenham star Harry Kane, but Ronaldo rightly still takes the title even at the age of 34. 6 foot 3. Alisson. We do have our first goalkeeper at 6 foot 3, and that title goes to Liverpool number 1, Alisson Becker. We ought to mention 2018 World Cup winner Paul Pogba in the 6 foot 3 category, who undoubtedly has the potential to be the best player in the world at his height, but just hasn't shown the consistency of Alisson in recent times to beat him to the top. 6 foot 4. Virgil van Dijk. Two of the greatest goalkeepers of the 2010s are 6 foot 4 inches tall, namely David De Gea and Manuel Neuer, as is Barcelona centre-back Gerard Piqué, who was an absolute rock last season. Another man who was a rock last season though was Virgil van Dijk, and with neither De Gea or Neuer quite at their best vintage right now, we think Van Dijk is the right choice with Piqué a close second. 6 foot 5. Kalidou Koulibaly. The goalkeepers union might not be too happy, but it's a centre-back who takes it again at 6'5". KALIDOU KOULIBALY is a real man-maxin, but he's also one of the best defenders in the world right now. Quick, strong, positionally excellent, and generally composed, the French-born Senegal international is among the most formidable centre-backs in the game. 6'6". Thibaut Courtois. We couldn't keep them out for too long, and in at 6'6" tall is Real Madrid goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois. I have been critical of the 2018 World Cup Golden Glove winner in the past, just in the sense that he became a little overrated following that tournament, and he had a difficult debut campaign at the Bernabeu. He's still a very good goalkeeper with an enormous presence, and the right choice at 6'6". 6'7". LOVRE KALINIC. We must of course mention England's robot king Peter Crouch at 6'7", as perhaps the sport's most famous tall man in recent times at least, but he is 38 now. He still gets an honourable mention along with Fraser Forster and prolific Nigeria striker Paul Onuachu, but our choice is Croatian goalkeeper Lovre Kalinic. The talented 2-metre tall shot stopper joined Aston Villa in January, although the club do look to be in the hunt for a new goalkeeper at the time of this recording. 6'8". LACINA TRAORE. Famous footballing giant LACINA TRAORE is the last inclusion in this list that most of our viewers will have heard of. Nicknamed the Big Tree, Traore is certainly big, although he isn't actually a tree. He is 203 centimetres tall though, making him the tallest well-known outfield player in the world. The former Monaco man currently plays for Újpest in Hungary, as well as the Ivory Coast national team. We should also give an honourable mention to Serbian goalkeeper Vanja Milinkovic-Savic, the younger brother of Lazio star Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. 6'9". Tomas HOUT. Given that the average height of an NBA player is 6'7", we're now talking about some seriously tall footballers. At this point, only goalkeepers stand a chance, with outfield players unlikely to be able to actually see the ball when it's at their feet from this height. Tomas HOUT is a gigantic 206 centimetre tall Czech goalkeeper who joined Ipswich Town from Gillingham last month. 6'10". KRISTOF van HOUT. Coming in at 6'10", taller than heavyweight boxer Tyson Fury and therefore dwarfing the likes of Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, is enormous Belgian goalkeeper KRISTOF van HOUT. Formerly of Genk and the Delhi Dynamos, Van HOUT now plays for Westerlo in the second tier of Belgian football. 6'11". Simon Bloch Jorgensen. Last, and in all honesty probably least in terms of ability, but certainly not in terms of stature, is non-league goalkeeper Simon Bloch Jorgensen. The German shot stopper, formerly of the FC Copenhagen Academy, has had stints in the professional game in both Germany and in England with Accrington Stanley. The 210 centimetre tall goalkeeper now plays for Dulwich Hamlet in England's National League South. That's it for today's video. My apologies if I sound like I have a cold, that is because I do, but there's no rest with 150,000 subscribers out there with an appetite for mildly entertaining football content. Thanks for watching, give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and please do join those 150,000 plus subscribers if you haven't already.